I am here to help you declutter your life and save money at the same time. How does decluttering and saving money go hand in hand? Trust me, it does. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 ways that when you declutter your house, you start to then save money. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jennifer. I'm happy to have you. On this channel, I talk about saving money, living a simple life, which involves bringing in concepts of simple living, such as minimalism, decluttering, and living a frugal lifestyle. So if any of that interests you and you enjoy my videos, then go ahead and make sure you click on that subscribe button. So I assure you that decluttering can save you money. The first way is when you do your declutter, and I have a couple of videos on decluttering. When you declutter your house, you start to realize what your spending triggers are. Now, what does that mean? So it means, let's say you're going through your house and you start to realize that you have about 15 or more pair of black pants. You didn't know you had all of them. Some of them were at the back of the closet. Or you start to realize that you have 6 or 7 new blushes that you haven't opened. Or you realize that, oh, I have, all these hammers and all these screwdrivers. I didn't realize I had so many of the exact same thing. That is a clear indication of a spending trigger, meaning when you are out, you are drawn towards that. I mean, it could be nail polishes. You have an abundance of nail polishes you could never get through. They end up going bad. You're just wasting your money, and you always end up with a new color that looks only a shade or two lighter or darker than the one you have already in your collection. When you have discovered these triggers, you can automatically put blinders on when you go into a store, or you can avoid that store altogether. If you know that spending money on makeup is just something that is so hard for you to prevent yourself from doing, then you don't go into the Ultas and you don't go into the Sephoras until you can get that under control. It is an acknowledgement of something. So once you have acknowledged and to yourself that this is something you have a problem with, meaning you're just drawn to those new white crisp button-up shirts every place you go, and you have to have everybody's brand of them. Then you realize when you're looking at another one, rather than just unconsciously buying it, you are finally being very conscious about what you're doing, and you realize, no, I actually don't need that. I have 3 of them that I haven't even worn yet, and I'm going to wear those first. You start making better decisions. But until you have discovered what your weaknesses are, what your crutches are, what those things are, then you can't make that conscious switch in your brain when you're out and you see that thing. The second way is, as you've done that declutter, you will discover all of these things you have had. Sometimes it actually feels like you got something new because you didn't realize you had it, and the newness of it had already, worn off, but it's been so long that it feels new again, and you're going to want to use it. You found the cutest purse that you used 8-9 years ago, and it's been in the back of your closet. Oh my goodness, the memories it brings up, you just want to carry it. And guess what? Because you have this new purse, you've had it for a long time. This isn't a style everybody sees. This is really cool. I haven't seen one of these. You are going to realize how many compliments you get on it. It's almost like, going through that person finding a $20 bill. It's a surprise. So you are going to want to use the things you already have once you discover what it is you already have. Now, this, for people who have already embraced the minimalist or the simple living lifestyle, probably not going to be surprised by what you find, but you probably already know that by decluttering, you're saving money. So by decluttering and realizing what you have, you're going to save money because you're going to want to use what you have and not buy something new. The third one is my favorite. after you have decluttered, you start to embrace intentional living. When you're out shopping, rather than just filling your cart up with stuff, never thinking about it the moment you put it in there until you check out and you get home and see what all you bought, you don't do that anymore. You analyze so much this little thing that is not really that expensive, that you're like, do I really need this? And you start asking yourself the questions. Where is this going to go in my home? Do I really love this? Do I have something else like this? And once you have realized that, there is something I call put it back on the shelf syndrome that happens to you. It's oftentimes where you will pick the thing up and you can appreciate something and not buy it. I always see and talk about YouTubers who go and buy all these things and do all these decorating things, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but it's just so cute. And I just cringe because I think about putting it away, storing it, how it's cheap, wasteful, and you just don't really love it, but you're getting it because you think that you need to get it and you need to do this, this, and this, and you're finding your joy in things. And hey, this was me before I embraced the concepts of minimalism. And I'm not talking about there's a mattress and a table lamp right on the floor. I'm talking about embracing the concepts of it, the intentionality, the questioning of purchases, the questioning of really, do I need this or do I love this? So that you can make room in your life for more of what you want. But after you do this, you talk yourself out of so many purchases. There are so many times when I just put things back on the shelf. I'll pick them up, and if I trust my gut a lot, meaning if I feel like, yes, this is something I'm going to purchase, or if there's a heaviness on my chest, then I just won't purchase it. Or if I know this is something I wouldn't stand in line for at TJ Maxx when the line is wrapped around the back of the store almost. I'm getting a little dramatic. If I wouldn't stand in that line to go purchase it, then I didn't need to purchase it in the first place. The fourth way this decluttering ripples its way into saving money is you no longer have the need or the want to go out and buy things or have places to store these things. If you don't have the things to store, then you don't need to buy the storage furniture. If you don't have the things to store, then you don't have to pay the monthly storage rental. It just astounds me, and I am not talking about people who have storage units because of, elderly parents are in assisted living now, or they're moving across country, or they're renting until they decide to buy a house. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who've lived in their house 20 years and have a storage unit because that's how much crap they have. And they don't even realize the stuff that's in there. And they think that one day somebody actually might want their stuff, their kids, their grandkids. No. That person is going to want their own personal things just like you wanted your own personal things. They're not going to want the 1976 floral couch. I promise. They're not. You can get rid of that. No sense in continuing to pay for it. You don't realize the actual cost of things because you have to house them. This let's say this camera, the cost of this camera was the cost of this camera, but this camera I still have to house. I have a house that I pay for, that I have a certain house, size house that I have my stuff in. If it was just me, I wouldn't need a larger house. I don't have a large house anyway, but people buy these big houses and think that they have to fill them up. And they don't realize that the thing that they bought, that they got on sale, that pool table, they are now paying pretty much what they would have paid because they have to have a room in a house. So they got to buy a house with a bigger space to fit that pool table. No offense to anybody who's got a pool table. But you know what I'm saying? There's an ongoing cost to things. The same thing with, getting more things and going to the Container Store. oh my goodness, the cost of these things. And YouTube, Pinterest has just put all over the place all these organizational videos that you just feel like you need all these clear bins with perfectly lined up yogurt tubes and cans on their side that you can rotate easily, that are in your pantry, and you feel less than because you don't have that or you didn't do that. That's not the case. Now, if you declutter, then you don't need any of that stuff. You don't need a storage box or slider under your bathroom sink if you don't have enough stuff to even take up the space of the under cabinet area, right? Now, number 5 is that you can now take all that clutter and turn it into money. Now, remember this, realize when you're looking at your stuff, all of this stuff, and this is not my saying, I'm not sure whose saying it is, all of these things used to be money. All of this stuff. That picture used to be money. That plant used to be money. This white top used to be money. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't buy things, but realize all this stuff you have used to be money, cash, unless it was given to you, right? When you are decluttering, you are going to find some great things, some great pieces that you can sell and make money back. Couple of tips here. Realize that you are never going to get how much you paid for something. Likely not, okay? Unless it's something just like a collectible, maybe. But if you buy this white shirt and it's $35, you're going to be lucky if you could sell it at a garage sale for $3, okay? As soon as you walk out the store. That is the same thing with your stuff. Now, you've always heard realtors say that sellers think their house is worth more because of all the blood, sweat, and tears they put into it. No, it's worth what somebody will pay for it. That is what everything is worth. Something is not worth what somebody appraises it for. Something is not worth what somebody online says that it should be sold for. Everything is worth what someone else is willing to pay for it. Now, that caveat aside, I wouldn't waste my time too much with garage sales unless you just have a whole lot of time on your hands and some good stuff. But Facebook Marketplace, online marketplaces are great places to sell things that are larger, that are nicer. So if you have, I don't know, a full Lego set, that would be great to sell on there. If you have an old farmhouse table that somebody could sell, flip it, make $300 on. Absolutely. You've got 2 old filing cabinets. You no longer need filing cabinets, but you've got somebody knows how to turn filing cabinets into these cool bookshelves. That is something that you can sell on those places and make some extra cash. Also, if you put something on there, be honest. If there are scratches, dents, clean it up a bit. Don't try to give or sell your stuff if it's not in a good condition, because nobody really wants that stuff, really. I've seen stories of people who give away things, and it's kind of sad. Like, they'll be still gross. They'll be gross. Like, the person could have cleaned them, but they gave them to the other person. Oh, do you want this? Yeah, sure. And then it's just gross. Yeah. No, don't, just PSA, don't do that. Let me know down below, have you decluttered, and have you found that as a result of decluttering, you no longer spend the money you did, you're more thoughtful in your purchases, that it has trickled down into a lot of other areas that have helped you financially? Let me know what that looks like for you down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you back for more videos.